welcome to our BBC School News Report. I'm Ruth.
And I'm Mariam. We're currently reporting from Dormans Wells High School. First off, we're going over to Sharik and Manish to discuss the Iraq elections.
Despite 38 people being killed in Fallujah, Bakuba and Mosul, the turnout of Iraq's general elections was 62% according to officials.
Prime Minister Nouri Maliki's State of Coalition party is expected to win most of the seats. According to officials from the Independent High Electoral Commission, the 62% was out of 19 million eligible voters.
We interviewed Miss Marnie on her thoughts on the situation. Do you think the elections in Iraq is a step in the right direction for the country?
Yes, definitely. Elections are very important, and they allow everybody who is old enough to vote, obviously, the right to have a say in which way the country goes, in its economic policy, in its, in all sorts of, in its education, in its army, and that obviously is very important in Iraq. So they haven't had a free and fair democratic right to vote in an election for a long time.
The final official results are not to be declared until the end of March, but the preliminary results are expected in 2 or 3 days.
Today's voting makes it clear that the future of Iraq belongs to the people of Iraq. Those were the words of President Obama. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Sharik and Manish.
Now we're going over to talk about the growing issue of global warming. Leading that story will be Roop and Gopesh.
We were very disturbed through the floods in Richmond, which is located very close to us. We initially assumed that these floods are caused by global warming, however, we were mistaken.
Although these floods weren't caused by global warming, we believe that global warming is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, issue in the world.
So here we are in Ealing Broadway to see what people think. So what do you think the government can do to improve the fight against global warming?
Well, obviously they've got the congestion charges at the moment. So what they've done, what I think they should do is instead of just keeping it around central London, they expand it outside London.
I make a conscious effort to recycle everything I can, and I use public transport. I don't have my own car, and I cycle when I can.
But I do catch the trains to work. That's quite good.
Out of 10, how eco-friendly do you think you are and why?
To be honest, probably about 3 or 4, because the only reason why I am is because my mum makes me do it.
Probably a lazy 5. We can all do a lot more. What can I say? I need to do more.
Very interesting to see the public's view of this. Earlier, we spoke to our science teacher at our school and asked him what he thinks about global warming and what we can do to combat global warming and climate change.
So what exactly has our school been doing to help combat global warming?
We recycle all our used paper. We are implementing attempting to implement a car sharing scheme. We have cycles for schools. We are concerned about using energy efficient lighting, changed all the bulbs. Teachers are reminded constantly of switching the equipment off when they're not using it, setting the computers to standby. As general public, what people can do is recycle more, walk a lot more, switch equipment off, don't leave it on standby.
And lastly, Manpreet and Bilal will give a report about the big Facebook issue that has been in headlines recently.
Now we will have an interview with one of the leading members of the IT community at Dormans Wells High School, who decided to give us her thoughts on this case and what could be done to prevent this from happening again in the future.
We currently actually at Dormans Wells, we're doing a unit with Year 8 students, which is all about the dangers of social networking, using chat rooms. So hopefully we're doing our contribution to help raise awareness of that and to keeping people safe when they're online. There should be parental controls, and the websites such as Facebook and others also have a responsibility to filter and track and monitor what is happening on their sites so that they're keeping their users safe.
Thank you for tuning in with us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.